Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Ocarina of Time. We're in Gerudo's Fortress, and we have saved all the carpenters, gotten the membership card, and now we can do some quote-unquote fun stuff. So we can talk to this chick over here guarding this little door. This is the Gerudo's training ground. Membership card verified. One try for 10 rupees. Okay, sure, why not? Alright, I'll take your 10 rupees. Give it your best shot. So she claps, and the gate sort of shrinks open. I think that's kind of neat. See what the sign says. Gerudo Training Ground, only registered members are allowed. Of course. So we can head in, and we're actually, this is a completely optional little sort of mini dungeon here, the Gerudo Training Ground. What we're in here for is actually an equipment upgrade, a new piece of equipment that's going to fill out one of our slots. So we definitely need to be taking care of this. Now, this is kind of interesting because pretty much each of these rooms are, as we're going to be explained here, kind of like trials. If you can overcome the trials in the chambers ahead, then and only then will you be qualified to hold our secret treasure. So pretty much once we complete all the trials, we'll, you know, get another key, and if we get enough keys, we can unlock enough doors to get to the treasure. That's kind of how these things work. So here our goal is to defeat all the enemies in a limited time. We've got a minute to defeat a couple of Wolfos, so this should be pretty easy. There's one. There's big rocks in the way here. I'm stuck. I can't move. Seriously, I can't. Okay, there it goes. I think I got stuck in the sand. If you stand still too long, you'll get stuck in there, so... Alright, there we go. It takes care of both of them. That was no problem. So the door unseals itself, and we can open this chest to get, like I mentioned, a small key. So we need... There are more keys in here than we actually need to pick up the main sort of treasure of this place. Here we've got our next trial. Gather the jewels of white while avoiding traps and danger. Yeah, this one's kind of annoying. I don't really like this one, but, well, you gotta do it. So... as I was saying, there are more keys available to you than there are than you need to actually get like the main treasure here. So we don't technically have to do all of them. Oh yeah, there's also wall masters here, but usually they don't get the chance to actually do anything. So we can pick up 2 of the silver rupees there. In certain places there will be these flame walls that appear, like right there, so you have to kind of find alternate ways around. If we come through here, there will be some boulders coming down. And see, like I said, the wall masters usually don't get to do anything, so you don't have to worry about them too much. There's a silver rupee back here, and then there's also one at the very end of this path. Like that. Sometimes you can avoid the boulders if you get right next to the wall, but I guess it just wasn't meant to work out there. Then we can go over this way, down this slope, over here. Nope, not this one. It's the next one down. And over here to get the final silver rupee. That'll open the door as well as stop the timer. I don't think... Oh, there is a hookshot target here. Sweet. Alright, so now we just got to get back to the door. There's no key in this room, unfortunately, so this was just kind of a room you have to complete to go forward. But there you go. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one, too. That's kind of mean if you ask me, but whatever. Alright, so let's head on through and see what the next one is. Ah, yeah, this one. This is an interesting room, actually. Without the necessary items, one will be confounded by impossible mysteries. And nothing's impossible. So we've got some Wolfos here, and we can take these guys out really easily. You've seen how easy they are before, so no big deal. Thanks for the Deku nuts, by the way. Then as we head over here, we're going to encounter a couple of white Wolfos. Again, just as easy. And, alright, your turn. There we go. Now, a chest is going to appear, and when we go over there and kick it open, we find that we get arrows. Yeah, we get arrows, so pretty much. There's actually a key sort of in this area that we can get. If we head over here, you can see there's this huge block. One with silver hands shall move a giant block, and we don't really have that equipment yet, so we can't quite go on through. So you can't complete this like 100% until you're pretty much, you know, you've progressed a little bit further. So you can still get enough keys to get the main equipment upgrade, which is why I'm here right now. But we just can't quite get it 100%, which I don't care because there's nothing else that we need to get. So that place over there, we're pretty much just going to leave, and you can sort of figure it out on your own. But for now, we need to figure out how to get out of here. So what we need to do is actually use the Lens of Truth again, of course. And once we do that, we can see there's an invisible passageway here. And hook shot on up. and flip the switch. That will unlock or unseal the door that's on the other side of that giant block, but again, we can't really get there, so you don't have to worry about it. And we can head on through to this one. Now, we still only got one key, but we're going to be fixing that relatively soon, so don't worry too much about that. Once we jump down here, this thing will start going around, and it tells us to blind the eyes of the statue. If you look in the middle, there's a statue with eyes, so what we need to do is use the arrows to sort of shoot each of them. Skip that one because it's not a very good shot. Hit it right in the eye, and that will cause it to turn red. And then just keep doing this as we go around in a circle. You need to hit all of them on your first pass because they will eventually, like, turn red. Unturn red. They will eventually deactivate, I guess you could say. And then you have to kind of start over. So you need to get them all on your first pass, but once you do that, a chest appears. We can use the long shot to get it. Open it, and we get a small key. So that's number 2. We're going to need 7 in total in order to get the equipment upgrade, but it turns out you actually only need 6 when you go in there because you'll get a key along the way. So keep that in mind. I think we'll actually end up with 7 by the time we get there. You know what? There's a quicker way to do this. If you just jump in the lava, you will get sent back up here, and you probably noticed this door unsealed, so that's why we're coming back up. Looks like we could use Scarecrow's song, but I don't care enough to do that. This is quicker. Then we can come in here and open the chest to get yet another key. Awesome. So 2 keys in that room. It's pretty neat. Okay, so let's jump on down and then head through the only other door, which is right here. Okay, so this time we have to find a secret passage in this room, but first we of course need to defeat all the enemies. That's just kind of self-explanatory. And get hit by the fire keys. Oh, come on, the thing's right there. Alright, 1 more fire keys left. Come here. Alright, so when we do that, that door unseals, which is actually the way forward, I believe. Also another chest appears, but the goal told us to find a secret passage, and there's of course that big chest in the middle of the flames, so we're going to have to do something about that. And you've also probably noticed all the totems sitting around. These guys are pretty much imported straight from the Fire Temple, so we're going to have to do something with that. I believe if we hit this one, yes, the golden eye switch will appear right there. If you want, you can hit this. This doesn't really help us out too much, but that will unseal the door back. So in case you want to backtrack, you can do it that way. And then we want to hit this one out of the way to reveal another switch. We press it, and the fire will go down around the chest, which we can open for another small key, of course. Okay, so let's go on through and into the next room. Now, this one's kind of annoying. It's another silver rupee puzzle. We've been seeing a lot of those lately. In order to get this first one, we need the long shot back out. Just look up and get it. No big deal there. Now we kind of have to, as the clue told us, cross the sea of fire. I find that this is easiest to do with hover boots, because you can really kind of control where you go. So you can also pretty much just walk across. You don't even have to worry about it. Just make sure not to slide off the edge. It does happen if you're not careful because you have no traction, remember. Then once we get over here, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and play the Song of Time. You saw Navi fluttering around out there. And when you do that, you sort of get a stair step of blocks there, which is pretty neat. And that'll sort of let us get up there, as well as make a quicker way for us to solve this. You might have seen the silver rupee that was in flames before. We're going to use this to actually get there. Hitting the switch will cause those flames to go down, so there you go. But don't take too long because the flames will come back up after a set amount of time, so be somewhat quick about it. And I believe that actually unseals the door that is right there, so keep that in mind. But first we want to head up and grab this key. There we are. And I think if we come through here, yeah, this is a view of sort of the treasure room I was talking about. You can see there are plenty of locked doors all around, so that's where we're going to be using our culmination of keys on. If we desire to acquire our hidden treasure, you must strive to obtain the keys hidden in each chamber. Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Of course, they're not going to hide one here, but They get bombed you there, which is awesome. You can also see... Wow, you can climb that. I didn't know that. You can also see that the big chest is right there. That's our main goal. We can't really get to it from right here, so we're just going to ignore this room for the time being. Now we want to head on out, and I went too far. Yep, see, that happens a lot. But the good news is we don't need to not fall down. If you fall down while you're trying to... Wow, holy crap. If you fall down while you're trying to get the silver rupees, then they will reset, and you have to get them all over again. So, obviously, don't do that. Now, if we head over here, I believe this room is where we can pick up... Oh, man, holy crap, I don't believe this. This is going horribly. Look at this. All those hearts gone. Alright, anyway, as I was saying, I don't know why I'm doing so bad in this room all of a sudden, but, well, I guess it happens. If this room over here is a room where we can get another key, but this one is actually kind of annoying. Collect the underwater gems. Yeah, it's kind of water platforming, so I think I'm actually going to skip this, because like I said, we only need 6, and we'll pick up another one before we leave, so we can pretty much just do the much less annoying one in order to get the key, but... Alright, so let's switch back on over to the Kokiri boots. I'm tired of sliding around. And then once we get in here, we've got actually a couple of new enemies to deal with. But first, you can see the Beamos in the middle, so it's probably a good idea to just go ahead, take out a bomb, and throw it there for a good measure. Now we have to deal with these guys here, who are Dino-fos. Use your shield well and fight with all targeting techniques. They're pretty much like the Wolfos from the Dongo's Cavern, but a little bit upgraded. But as you can see, not by much. So they're pretty easy to deal with. You can pretty much just walk up to them and hit them. That guy got a cheap shot in, but there you go. Once you defeat them, a chest drops down, and we are now going to pick up our 6th key, so we can now finally get that treasure I've been talking about that we came in here for. So we're back out here in the main open area. We've pretty much made a complete circle around. There's actually, yeah, there is something here that we can do, but we'll get back to that. We want to head back into this middle one, and this is pretty much the main entrance to the treasure chamber. In order to assure that you get to the treasure using the least amount of keys possible, which is 7, you want to head to the left here. If you head to the right, you'll just get other crap treasures and waste keys, so don't do it. Alright, so let's go on through, and one of these chests along the way should have a key in it. I'm not sure which one. Yeah, that one has a purple rupee, which I didn't need at all, but... Alright, so let's open that door. And this door, I think it's this chest right here that has a key in it. Maybe, I don't know. Oh no, okay, it has a red rupee. Well, go figure. Alright, so let's get this one. Now, if we go back, there's another chest here. This has pretty much gotta be it. Arrows. Oh, wow, okay. I'm not seeing it anywhere. I know there is one, but... Okay, well, I'm guessing there's not... I don't know. My memory can't be that bad. There had to be one. I could have swore I remember there being another chest in here with a key. Maybe that was in... It couldn't have been in the other direction, though, because that wouldn't have helped you out. Oh, well, I don't know. I have no idea, but... looks like I'm gonna have to go back and do that annoying room after all, so, well, that's fun. Alright, so we're back in this room where we have to collect the underwater gems. Obviously, we need to play the Song of Time to make the blocks of time disappear. Awesome, so there we go. Now we need to drop on down with the iron boots and get to collecting. Sounds fun, so let's do it. Alright, so you can see I'm pretty much scattered around here. There's one up at the very top, there's one over there to the left, and there's one right here in the middle. Of course, I landed right on that blade trap. There are also these shell blades around that we're going to have to deal with. They're really not that hard. Just make sure you don't stand in the middle so you don't get sideswiped by that blade trap. And let's go ahead and get the last 2 over here. There we are. Alright, now we can pick up these silver rupees by using the various hookshot targets that are around the room. We can get 2 there, which is awesome. Now look back, and let's see. There's one over there, so if we stand in the corner and go up, We'll get this one along the way, and then we also have to get the one at the top, but obviously we're going to have to switch back to our Kokiri boots and swim. And of course, when you put on the Kokiri boots, you find that there is actually a whirlpool current around here, so just kind of ride around and then pick up the silver rupee. It pretty much gives it to you automatically, so there's no real worries. Then once you grab it, just float on up to the top. Then we can climb out, and it's all the way over here. Of course, it's like the last area I checked. Alright, so we open the chest and then finally get our final small key. So I'm going to head back to the treasure room, and we'll pick up our rewards. Alright, so we're at the final locked door. Let's open it. And when we go in, we can see the big chest is now ours for the taking. And we get the ice arrow. Set it to C and your arrows will be powered up. If you hit your target, it will freeze. This arrow magic is granted only to those who complete the difficult training of the Gerudos, so use it with pride, of course. So that is what we came here to pick up, the ice arrows. It's actually not necessary at all to complete the game. You do not need this, but, you know, being 100%, you want to get all the equipment upgrades, so there's only a couple more. One more arrow type and one more magic attack, so we're about done with that too. Now let's go ahead and put it on just to see how the things look. It's pretty neat. Whenever you shoot something, it will do that, which is awesome looking. And also, if you shoot enemies, they'll freeze, and it's basically just a giant ice cube. So it is pretty neat, but again, not necessary. So if you want it, you can come in here. If you don't, well, then don't bother, because this place is pretty annoying. So there, as you probably saw, but there you go. Alright, so now we're going to have to head back on out. There's no shortcut to get out, and you can't warp from here. So we're just going to have to take things the long way. Alright, and there we go. Now, once we get back out here, there's a gold eye switch there. If you shoot that, a chest, I think, with arrows comes down. It's kind of worthless. But Navi is fluttering around here and turning green. We can use the Ocarina and play the Song of Storms, I believe. And when we do that, as you can see, a fairy comes out. And it's not really a fairy, it's just kind of a big pink orb of light. I don't think you can catch it, but either way, it will completely heal you, so it's probably a good idea on your way back out, so you're back at full health, which is good. And now we're back out in Gerudo's Fortress with our new upgrade. Awesome. So next time, we're actually going to get a couple more things around here, and then we're going to make tracks for the Spirit Temple, which should be pretty cool. This is a pretty weird camera angle, but I guess I'll just leave it. So that's what we'll do next time. Until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you then.